Closing arguments begin today in Donald Trump's New York civil fraud trial. The former president and his company are charged with falsifying asset values. The judge overseeing the case was initially going to let Trump speak if he agreed to certain conditions, but that request was denied. The Trump Organization has already been found liable for fraud. So for more analysis, here's CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roiphe joining us right here in Studio 57, which is great to have you here. So the president wanted to do closing arguments, the former president. He had an opportunity to be on the stand again, and he chose not to. But they couldn't agree to, I guess, the limitations or requirements. And so his lawyers are going to do it instead. What do we expect to hear from his lawyers?
His lawyers are going to argue that he did not, in fact, inflate his assets. Those numbers were accurate. And even if they were not, or there were some slight differences in them or discrepancies, nobody relied on them. That, in fact, these bankers did their own research, assessed his net worth, and decided what sort of loan to give him based on that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is part of his argument, too, who's the victim here?
Definitely part of his argument is who's the victim. I think that's probably more of an appellate argument than it will be here, because the judge here already found that there was fraud.
True. And
the idea is that it's the markets that are the victim, that we all depend on transparency in the markets and fairness in the markets, because that's how, anybody gets a shot of getting a loan at a fair rate.
Right.
And so if some people are getting benefits or manipulating their assets in order to get benefits, that affects all of us. At least that's the theory that the Attorney General is going with.
And so I guess part of that is what we're going to hear from the state. What are we going to hear from the state's?
Absolutely. So the state's argument is very clear here, which is we have put on plenty of proof that the former president inflated his assets by a huge amount in order to enrich himself and his family. So it doesn't have to do with damaging anybody else. It's that he got this special benefit that nobody else got as a result.
How frequently does it happen that a defendant asks to deliver their own closing arguments?
It's very unusual.
Okay.
I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's unusual just because normally that's why we hire lawyers, especially this moment, our moment to, sum things up and really make sure that we've hit all the important points. You want somebody who's an expert in order to do that.
And I was actually surprised that the judge was even entertaining this, because it certainly appears as if Donald Trump has been using his court appearances as part of a campaign strategy. And so I thought, oh my God, what is this going to sound like? Do we know why the judge and Trump's attorneys couldn't sort of agree on this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure Trump's attorneys ever really wanted this to happen. I think on a certain level, this was part of a ploy, which they have always engaged in, which is whenever we lose, we want to be able to spin it as we are victims. And so if there's some limitation that makes sense from a legal perspective, but many people in the public don't understand that they can spin that as this judge was out to get our client. And not obviously a useful legal argument, but perhaps that helps him in his public relations, in his campaign, and ultimately in seeking the presidency or the nomination.
So as you pointed out, it's already been concluded that the Trump Organization has been participating in fraud. So what are the possible punishments? What's the judge trying to decide here?
Right. So these are some slightly different counts, different laws that require the Attorney General to prove certain things, especially intent. And these particular counts come with different penalties. The extremely high penalty, that the damages penalty of $370 million that she's seeking, as well as perhaps an even more damaging result, which could be, if the judge decides to issue it, barring them from engaging in real estate in New York.
Rebecca, it's always great to have you here.
Nice being
Glad
here.
you could come in. Thank you so much.